Guys, look at this. It's been a month since the storm. This is right outside of Fort Myers Beach on the Fort Myers. It's not just Fort Myers Beach, guys. You know, you can see here most of these windows got blown out. Dude, these are high density housing areas and the people are here are poor. They haven't been able to leave. These aren't second homes. This is like real crap out here, bro. People actually still living out here. Like, you know, a lot of publicity is given to Fort Myers Beach itself, but those are mostly second homes and rich people, bro. These people here, they can't leave their communities. They still gotta live, you know, they don't have the ability to go move somewhere else. I mean, you can see here, this is misery. Like, you're talking houses that are gutted and the family still can't leave. This is real out here. This is real life situations. The nightmare's not over for these people. It's just barely begun for these people out here. You're talking about a community where the people with families and kids can't just hop up and go somewhere else. These people here can't hop up and go somewhere else. They gotta stay put. The smell, I've smelled bad stuff. I have smelled bad stuff since the start of this hurricane. But the smell of this stuff here, it's bad. Those guys hanging out by the gas station, they don't seem like they're from here. They seem like they came from out of state, and they don't look like somebody that hired work. Guys, we're not on Fort Myers Beach. We're in Fort Myers. This is the Fort Myers area. We're on this side of the bridge, and this is just unbelievable. And if you think it smelled about a week or two after the storm, somebody's calling that phone. There's just a random boat back there between these apartments. I don't think these guys are from here. I'm gonna ask them.
Car, it looks like Indiana police.
Why would they come from another state here? They're not from here. There's no way they're from here. I'm gonna ask them, y'all from out here? Let me see what they say. There's no way they're actually from here. They got picked up though.
Hey.
What up, y'all? Y'all from out here? Y'all from out here?
Excuse me?
You guys from this area here?
Yeah. You want to take my picture? Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Y'all from out here?
What?
Y'all from out here?
No. You want to take my picture?
Yeah, we're in a public place. What's up?
What do you want? Oh, you can do that. I'd say you can take my fucking picture.
So
hey, you got about $3 I can hold where I'll give you something to drink,
man? I ain't got no money,
I don't drink alcohol.
I ain't got no money, man.
Do you want to take my picture here?
I ain't got no money, man.
Let me get ready. What do you
want? Yeah.
I've been down here for 20 years. Respect the hurricane on top of that bridge.
Y'all ain't from here. Y'all from out of state.
Oh, yeah?
I'm from fucking Florida 20 years.
Yeah.
What do you need to know?
Where you from? Fort Myers?
Originally in New York.
New York? Alright. Welcome to Florida, man. Y'all have a nice day.
Take my picture, bro.
They're not from Florida. They're not from out here. There's no way these guys are from here. I know they're not from here. I know this area. They're not from here, bro. They're not even like really from here. I know everybody out here. There's like I know they're not from out here, dude. They're coming from out of state with their little out of state games, bro. Acting like yeah, I know that's not it. Yeah, that's not Southwest Florida, bro. They're not from out here, so I don't know where they came from, other state, or I don't know what are they even doing out here. You know what I mean? Like, they're not. If you were to ask me what I think is going on there, is that they're pretending like they're hurricane victims, trying to get help, but they're not from here. So like they came from out of state to like pretend like they're from here, but they're not really from here. You understand how that works? Like they're not from here. I know all the homeless people out here because before the hurricane, every homeless person that I see out here, I talk to them. I see what they need, if they need anything, whatever. They're not really from here. Those guys are completely from out of state. You know what I mean? And they're clearly probably not sober, but that's how that works. You know, they come from out of state, and you know, like all the people they've arrested for looting and stuff, all of them are from out of state. Like very few that I've seen, either out of state or out of area. They'll come from out of state just to do stuff, you know.
We're in here before the hurricane.
We actually did videos inside of this community before the hurricane. A week before the hurricane, we did videos inside of this community. All right, guys, so let's get on foot and kind of understand what's going on here in this area. Now, you cannot enter Fort Myers Beach on Mondays and Tuesdays. Only the work crews are allowed in, not even the residents are allowed in. So it should be 2 days of a week, specifically for the purpose of just the work. Now, there's still a lot of storm surge damage all through here. As you can see, this is probably a roof or a deck. Looks like perhaps maybe a roof. And but I don't see where it came from. I mean, it could be from any of these businesses out here. It's just wild to look at this roof here and not know where it came from. This area of Fort Myers had storm surge come through. So you would imagine that this is all underwater. The ocean forced its way into this area. And in that process, you have entire boats that are probably half a mile or a mile away from where they originated. You can see this boat here, Randy White. I'm not sure exactly where this boat originated from, but it's here by the side of the road, and you can see somebody from a towing company has actually put their number on the side, so if the owner comes, they can call them to recover it. But among this debris pile that's in here, you can see there's parts of a ceiling fan, light bulbs, all types of debris from the storm surge that landed here on the side of this road. Piece of soffit. It's just interesting the things you'll find from people's personal clothing. All that would have got pushed out of the houses and the properties out here, and it's just been spread to this whole area. The sound of generators and motors. You can see there's practically nobody on the entrance to Fort Myers Beach because, like I said, they're not allowing residents to come in. Only work trucks today. So Monday and Tuesday, all the access on this road is only for local residents. So that means that they're doing this so that the trucks can come in and out. They want 2 days a week just for that purpose. So let's explore a little bit on foot and just kind of get a closer look at what's going on here. So if you want to know where we're at, so there they are. The reason they close the island on Monday and Tuesday is so those semi trucks can come in and out as fast as they can and not have to deal with normal traffic. And as you can see, this has worked fairly well since pretty much there's nobody out here. St. Carlos and Broadway Avenue. And guys, our channel has been doing great lately. We are almost at 2 million views in the last month. That's a lot. And of course, there's all types of efforts out here from law enforcement and different agencies that are out managing the area. And the decision to close off the island Monday and Tuesday is going to help really just give the trucks easy access in and out so that they can start to make progress on cleaning up the island. And again, that even prevents local residents from entering and leaving the island. Now, we did videos in these mobile home parks right before the hurricane, a week before the hurricane, and I haven't been able to get back into these mobile home parks to do it before and after. But that just lets you know that pretty much most of it is gone at this point. When you look through this debris, you're looking at garage door parts, entire trees, parts of docks. So just a little bit of everything. You can see over there a pine tree that landed over that mobile home, and perhaps a boat that was dislodged from a dock kind of on the grass. Now over here, it's almost hard to even decipher what this debris is. But you can see perhaps parts of vehicles or large boats. Hard to tell what all is inside of this debris. But we're looking at a scene of complete destruction. Notice a pile of copper wire. Surprisingly, scrap metal pickers haven't got to that yet. I think in Lee County they kind of took a pretty interesting stance on all that, but in Charlotte County I even saw people up there knocking down street signs that were still up to take them. So every county has different ways to handle things. There's a 280-pound cast iron tub right there. All right, so now we're on a street that has a canal along the back. You can tell that the cleanup crews have already taken a lot of debris. This boat, clearly on land, looks like it was moved here just to get it out of the way. But clearly it's a very large boat, and there's a note on it. Owner of this boat, I'm looking for a trailer and someone to move it. If anyone can help, thank you. And he's got a phone number. So clearly the owner of the boat is just waiting to be able to recover the boat, to get a trailer and some equipment, which is going to be fairly difficult right now. I don't know how heavy a boat like that would be, and if a 2500 truck can move it, you might need something even bigger. Obviously there's going to be a shortage on all these things, but as you can see here, the water in the canal should kind of give you an indication that just 3 feet of storm surge or 4 feet of storm surge would put you pretty much flush with the ground. So an 8-foot storm surge would have brought 4 feet of water into these houses. Now when you look at the demolition here, you have a combination of drywall, appliances, trees. It's really not supposed to be mixed like that. It kind of has to be separated for the city to pick it up. This particular home, you can see right through it. So it's good to assume that the water just rushed through the house, leaving pretty much nothing untouched inside that home. Everything destroyed. I can hear some Mexican music, probably the workers playing some corridos. All right, so on this neighborhood here, we start to see signs of vehicles that are completely destroyed, back windows smashed out. With a storm surge that high, you know, over 4 feet, you can imagine just cars floating perhaps. You can also see that this house has some roof damage around the back. No power, generators are still blasting. I think for the most part now, most quote-unquote news reporters have already gone off to other places, leaving the nightmare that people are still living here in Lee County, Florida, what I would call almost forgotten at this point, no longer relevant to the news. Now after a month, the smells are much stronger than a few weeks after the storm, and in some places people are mixing their household garbage with their demolition, and it's very, very unsettling. So the nightmare continues for the residents of Lee County, Florida. Most news crews are probably long and gone at this point, looking for other stories. But the nightmare of a hurricane isn't really what happens right after the hurricane. It's the coming days, weeks, and in the case of Fort Myers, months. You can see here 2 boats. Both of these houses have boats that have been dislodged from docks and are now in their backyards. A shed that looks like it's been uprooted from its foundation. So definitely a situation. And now this is the nightmare that the people of Lee County, Florida are living. And again, it's not just Fort Myers Beach. The city of Fort Myers, Iona, surrounding areas, Harlem Heights, these areas suffered a lot. And a month after the storm, people are still here dealing with a nightmare situation in their community. A nightmare situation that doesn't appear like it's going to recover right away. This is going to be a long process for these communities. Unfortunately, the city of Fort Myers has a long way to go. A lot longer of a way to go than what most people would want. But the nightmare continues. It's not over. Right before the hurricane, Katie and I were looking at, we had found a beautiful condo in the Iona area. And we were looking at, finally, you know, after months of searching for the right apartment, finally we found an apartment in Iona. And, wow, you know, had it worked out, we'd be living in this area here. See a boat flipped over there behind somebody's house. And unfortunately, many houses at this point have just been cleared with nothing left inside. You know, people's tempers are flaring, so we have to be really, really careful just doing this walk around. I could definitely see somebody just being absolutely having a bad day today, and you coming through here wouldn't really contribute to it being better. So I hear a lot of generators running, which would indicate to me that power has not been restored here. Power not restored. Emotions and anger and frustration mounting. I can definitely say that walking through these streets here with a camera, knowing the situation some people are living, could definitely add to their frustration. But I do feel like it's necessary to do this work. And within all that, just be alert. In the time that I've lived in Fort Myers, it's never happened like this. Every storm we get the warning of potential storm surge. And there's times where you see a foot or two, but you know that if the wind had been in this direction, blah, 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 that it would have happened. So it's just crazy that, you know, it starts off around Barefoot Beach. I mean, Naples got it really bad too. But the absolute worst of it starts around Barefoot Beach, moves north, pushes into Bonita Beach, Fort Myers Beach. And this area down here just took a complete, nightmare. So far, I still haven't found any nails on my tires, but I suspect that in the coming process of being in all these areas, it's just bound to happen. But so far, no nails that I've seen, at least. But it's bound to happen eventually. I can't believe it hasn't happened yet. Especially now when they start to pick up these piles, they're full of nails. All these piles are going to be full of nails and stuff. When they start picking through them, it's going to be quite bad. There's Katie right there. Oh, the rhino tipped over. Yeah. Make sure you're out of the way. These roads are going further. Yeah, go on the road. This one burned down and
Yeah, that's what's happening.
yeah, when they turn the power back on. A lot of people are brought in campers from other places so they can rebuild. You know, live in the camper while they rebuild. Try to stay a little bit more once the truck passes. Try to stay a little bit more centered to the road so you're not picking up nails.
I got knocked out.
Around
I didn't see anything, so.
it. Man, look at this. So sad. Drive slow. That door right there, the storm surge knocked the door, like the bottom half of the door, like it like knocked off the bottom, but not the top, because the water rushed out. Both of those, that car's flying right there. Parallel just like that one then. There's another even smaller, but just ignore it, going to that one to the left. Some of these properties, they've already cleaned them up pretty well. Some are just like they had happened, but some properties people have come in already and tried the best they can to get them in shape, you know. But for some people, it's going to be a longer process. Hey, look, it says Island Girl. Go on this side. Yeah, go on this side. Yeah.
And then cross over.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have a chance to cross over. If not, you'll wait.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. There's no rush.
Yeah, there's some.
Okay, just stop right here. Let them. They're working, so don't worry. Just stop over here, off to the side, so they can pass. Yeah, so this is gonna start moving. Alright guys, so we've been kind of waiting for about an hour here to see what's going to happen with this boat. So far, we're just waiting. They're starting to lift this boat up out of the water, but it's a very slow process. I guess they got to get the weight distribution right, so it's a little bit of back and forth, but eventually, hopefully, we can see them lift this boat up out of the water. It's a balancing act. Believe it or not, I just had somebody drove by. You can see there's all these work equipment here. And somebody actually just drove by and asked the people that are working when they're going to move out of the way. It's just unbelievable how snobby and just inconsiderate some of these people can be. Imagine you're lucky you have these people here working to ask them when are they going to move out of the way because the vehicles are blocking the way. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Guys, they still don't have water back in this area. And the people just about every person that walks by and drives by as a resident is asking the workers when are they going to get their water back, when are they going to get their electric back or whatever, and or their cable back or something. And these guys are just working here moving the boat. But it's interesting how kind of irritable and irritated some of the locals are at these work crews, which they're here to help from other state. They're working 14, 16-hour days, and they're 3 or 4 hours. Some of them are 3 or 4 hours away from home. So at the end of the night, if they can't find a hotel, they got to drive back 3 hours and do it again the next day. But even though they're doing all that for this community, instead of the people kind of being thankful and thanking them, they're kind of complaining about work vehicles in the way. They're kind of complaining about, asking them when they're going to get their water back. Obviously, they're moving a boat. They're not freaking, they're moving a boat. They're not water crews, but apparently the boats are on top of the water lines or something. But you can still see it's going to be a problem because the ropes to the boat are tied into that dock, and that dock's still in the water. So when they start to pull, when the crane starts to pull on the boat, and there's 2 boats that are blocking the road, when the crane starts to pull on the boat, this would be a nice thing to live stream actually. You can see the docks moving. The boat is still docked, so I think what's going to happen is they got to determine if those docks are just loose or when they start pulling on the boat, if the dock is going to pull on the crane, which is kind of, if it were to fall, it'd fall right over me. If you look at where I'm at right now, you can kind of see that the boat's still tied to the dock in some way or another. It's on land, but it's still tied to the dock. So it's a very intricate balancing act here.